Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be discussing about data transfer. We'll be discussing about exchange of file between the Windows machine and the Linux machine. Let's say if you have a file, a folder which is there on the Windows machine, how can I take it onto a Linux machine? For that purpose, what we'll do is we'll launch a Linux server. I'll have already launched it. I'll just try and connect to that Linux server and we'll check what all is there onto my server. I'll just clear this so you can check. I'm at home/ec2 user and nothing's there. There's nothing, right? If I want to transfer some data from my local machine, or let's say from a Windows server onto this Linux machine, how am I supposed to do that? For that purpose, we'll require software called as WinSCP. So we'll try and download that software first. So here's the first link which you get once you search for WinSCP. So this is the software. We'll try and download this. Okay. The download had started. I'll execute the setup file. Okay, the installation is being completed. What I'll do is I'll try and open the software. So here the software, I'll click on the software. So what am I supposed to do is I have to connect to my remote Linux machine. For that, the protocol which we'll be using is SCP. I'll have to enter the host name, that is the public IP of the server to which I want to connect. In my case, the server which we have that is having public IP. I'll copy the public IP from here and copy the public IP. I'll enter the public IP in the host name and the username. You should be aware of the username. Username in this case will be ec2-user. Like once you try and go on to connect this, the username is displayed here. So in our case, the username is ec2-user. So we'll mention the username and password, we'll keep it blank. We'll give the key, that is the private key which is there. I'll give the private key, update it here. We'll go into advanced, we'll go into authentication, private key. You can upload the private key here. So I have the public key which is used is with the name server, which is there onto the cloud platform. We'll make use of the same key which is there on my machine and I'll say okay. That's it. And let's say okay and login. I'll accept this and yes, we are connected to the machine. You can observe that the connection is being established. We are now connected to the machine. Let's check once again what is there onto our server. ls, nothing is there. Where am I? I'm at home/ec2 user clear, nothing's there. What we'll do is we'll try and to push something onto this server. Again, I'll go to my application WinSCP. Right now, let's say there's a Docker file which is written here. Right, what I'll do is I'll try and drag and drop this Docker file onto my Linux server. Right, it's asking me. I'll say okay. All right, now let's see whether this Docker file, whatever file which I have dragged and dropped onto my right side of the machine. The right side of the machine here is the Linux server. It is the Linux server which is being launched, whereas on the right side, it is my local machine, that is my Windows machine. My local system which I am presently using. So what have I done is I have just dragged and dropped this Docker file onto my Linux server. Let's check. The file should be displayed here, ls, and yes, you can see your file being being written here onto my Linux server. Let's try and move something else as well. I'll try and drag and drop this text file. Okay, and I'll drop it here. Here it is. Let's see. Although the name is not concrete, let's. Okay, fine. So whatever text file I had named, the naming convention is not right, but let's not go into it. The file is being now displayed onto my Linux machine. So this is one way, we can, try on to move the applications or files which are there on my local machine onto my Linux server. If the machine which is there, if the first primary machine from which you're moving the files or data is a Windows machine, it's going to be difficult. In that case, you can go on to make use of the text file for that purpose. So you can go on to make use of the WinSCP software for moving the data. What I'll do is I'll try and try and move some other files if possible. We'll go into downloads, and let's say there's a key pair. I'm having this key pair. The same key pair can be moved, right? Let's see, and here it is. Let's ls here, and you can see that the key pair also is being now moved on to my Linux machine. So this is one simple way to move, file from the Windows machine onto a Linux machine. So this completes our tutorial for today. If you have understood this concept, if you have understood this application, please do like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.